Thoughts on the current state of the Patriots right now, Bill? Can I call you Bill, or is it Will?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
All right.
Why would you call me Will? At what point did you?
I don't know. I call Bill Belichick Will.
Oh, you do?
No.
No?
No.
Did you ever get inside that head?
Never.
Never.
He doesn't let anyone in there.
Yeah, well, he's the modern day Paul Brown. You ever read on what Paul Brown did?
Yeah, he started the Browns, and then he went down to Cincinnati.
In other words, you didn't.
No.
If he could read, he would, though.
If I could read.
Paul Brown was in the league. It was called like the AAFL, some fucking thing like that. They went 3 years. The Cleveland Browns with Otto Graham, the first Tom Brady, right? Fucking wins. They win the championship all 3 years. Then he goes into the NFL in 1950, and the NFL was laughing at them, saying they're not going to do shit. And he ends up going to the championship game like 4 years in a row and wins either 2 or 3 of them. Then Bobby Lane came with the Lions. So one of the things that they did with him is they tried to figure out how is this guy winning so many games? And what it was he was the first guy that took the kicking aspect of the game seriously. And he had a field goal kicker. What the fuck was it? It was an offensive lineman, of course, and he was kicking straight on. Yeah, what was his name? Yeah, and this guy was lights out.
Lou Groza?
Lou the Toe Groza. There you go. So, and they were winning all of these games by 3 points and 2 points and everything. So he was the guy. Like it was him realizing that was important and that could be a competitive advantage. That oh my God, how did I leave off Adam Vinatieri?
Oh,
is he in the Hall of Fame yet? Have
Not
they
yet.
put? Have they put?
Maybe this year.
this year.
Fucking
He's a
ridiculous.
finalist.
Okay,
He'll
that
be
guy
soon.
is first ballot, no question Hall of Famer. Adam Vinatieri. Apologies. He probably shut this podcast off.
Nah.
Walking around, they're never gonna acknowledge us kickers. Is that how kickers sound?
I was a Guskowski guy.
Who's that? Oh, is that the guy who was kind of fat?
That was our kicker for my whole career.
Staniskowski.
No, Guskowski. Steve Guskowski.
Oh, I thought you said Guzikowski.
No. Different
No,
players.
I listen. You get to a certain age, you can't remember kickers' names. I'm at that age.
You gotta dip. You
Big
gotta
dipper.
sauce things up. It can take things to the next level.
Always. Some people think it's trashy. I just think it's...
Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
It's trashy to use dips to fucking live a little.
I like putting A1 sauce on like my white rice.
Okay.
Like
Interesting.
that's how I like.
Maybe
A1
I see where they're
sauce.
coming from. A1 sauce is
Everywhere.
dog shit.
I
A1 sauce is like when people are like, well, I'm not going to use ketchup. I'm not an animal. Let's get A1. You know what I mean? It's trash trying to be classy. No offense.
No, I know it
But
is.
A1 you got to let go of. Any other dip, I'm with you. I hate to immediately
love
stab
ranch.
you in the back.
Are you a ranch guy? Like whenever
I
I
am a
eat,
big ranch guy. And
Whenever
that is trashy too, so maybe I'm a hypocrite here.
Whenever I eat Greek food, I always bring in
Don't say this.
ranch.
God damn it,
I like to
dude.
dip my
Come
Euro in
on,
ranch.
Dude, ranch with Greek food? Tzatziki, have you read tzatziki?
I think
We
tas-
have our fucking
I
version
think
of ranch.
tahini and tzatziki. I think it's a bad ranch.
No, what the fuck are you talking about? We don't even, tahini's not even us. That's more of the Middle East. We're, right in the right on the other side. But no, you gotta go tzatziki. You can't do ranch. What are you dipping in ranch?
I just or a hot sauce. I like to put like a different hot sauce. I like my Euro in there.
I'm
or
with
I
you.
like when I have a kebab or like I like.
You gotta get tzatziki. You might just be going to a place with bad tzatziki.
There's some great shit out here.
Now, what kind of ranch? Because this is important too.
There's a ranch here in LA. I forgot what it's called, but it's a mom and pop ranch.
Okay, you might be winning me about. And
Comes in like a mayonnaise
is it
looking
refrigerated?
thing. Oh yeah,
Good. Okay.
yeah. It
'Cause
goes
then
bad after a week. That's how
good.
you know
That's
it's
a
good
real
ranch.
sauce. All
Yeah.
right. Then maybe there's some
No, this
space.
ranch is killer, and they got a great blue cheese that I always have to get for Rob because he loves blue cheese.
Yeah. I get that. All right. I'm going to have to try this ranch before I come in with the ultimate deciding whether that's trashy or not.
Let's go back to like 1995. Bert. Game day ritual.
Game day. Wake up early. Wake up early.
Did you go to bed with like the cleats on or something?
No. No, we partied all night.
Yeah, all right.
Partied all night.
Standard.
Yeah. Wake up early and bong hits right away. Like right away.
Wake
bong
and
hits.
bake.
Wake and bake.
Wake and
Everyone
bake.
got just casual high, and then you'd run errands. Like, all right, we need some kegs. We got. Are we gonna have any food there?
Frito-Lays.
Yes, and I was in an organization called Scalp Hunters, and I was in college so long. I was on the on the panel of the Rand Scalp Hunters for like 4 years, and so we would host the party at a place called Indian Village right next to the stadium, and so we put up a big Scalp Hunter sign. Anyone that was like cool at that time, it's still the same at Tallahassee. Anyone that was like someone with a little leverage was a Scalp Hunter. So the coolest dudes in that whole school would show up to Indian Village, and we'd have probably like 4 different houses, different fraternities, but then the Scalp Hunters party was the shit. And then say we had like a 1:30 game, a noon game, people are rolling in at 9 o'clock, and we start with a specialty cocktail. Like my buddy Hutch would be like, all right, today it's Harvey Wallbangers. And so he'd be like, oh, we'll run through Harvey Wallbangers until we step into beer. And so we get a nice buzz, and then bong hits through the day until it was game time. And then this is really interesting. People would load up on, because you didn't serve booze in the thing. They'd load up on plastic bags, and Jim Beam at the time was what everyone drank. And then they put them in their waist. And then I would take lox and bagels and put them in my waist. And then we would go in, and I would be what you'd call the patsy. I would be the mark. And so I would go in very noticeably with a plastic bag in my waist and very nervous and making movements and touching my bag. And the cops would be like, we got one. And they'd grab me, and I'd be like, hold on. And I'd make a little thing, and then everyone walks in, everyone goes in, and they're like, sir, can I see what's in your pants? And I go, yeah, sure. They take you back. Then you'd open it, and they're like, what's that? And I was like, I don't know if they have lox and bagels, and I'm starving for lox and bagels, and my parents brought them in for the game, and I just wanted to have like a bagel with some lox on it, and they'd be like, oh, fuck. Go ahead. And then they'd let you in, and then we would go up and we would party our fucking dicks off. And it was awesome. It was, to this day, the best Saturdays I'll ever have in my entire life.
The roast we were on, there was like no holding anyone back.
That was wild.
You know what I mean? Everyone was hitting every joke, and it was like comedy was almost coming back.
I felt that too. And I don't know that, like, if we would have submitted that script of what it ended up being to Netflix prior, they would have been like, no, we're not letting you do this. Like I'm sure Netflix perused what was going to be said, but they weren't really, I can't imagine anyone greenlighting what was said that night. And even sitting there that night, I was thinking, oh man, tomorrow it's going to be like, they went too hard. This was, did they cross the line? Is this the end of roast? Like, because it was so harsh, but everyone seemed to just be like, so excited about it the next day. It was not, there was not one headline of like, it's too far.
No.
Like not even one. And it was too far.
Yeah.
It was offensive to me at times.
It was pretty. It was
great though.
You know, but
so
it was
fun.
great for us, like the athletes, when the civilians on the stage, when we went up there and when Kevin let it off, it was good to see Kevin. Like that was a teammate move. Like he showed like where the bar was set when he came out.
Oh my God.
And so it relieved me. He said that. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, wait, what was the line he said that made you like?
There's the Brazilian jiu-jitsu stuff. Yeah. Like he was bringing it right away.
Yes, you're right. He was showing you where the threshold was, like where we're willing to go.
Yes.
Absolutely. I felt that way too.
Yeah.
He was the best, man. And just like commenting after everyone's set and like showing credit where it's due. Like he was really a team player that night, where on a night where it is competitive and comedians aren't usually that generous with each other of like giving each other accolades. And it felt, but the roast is weird because you didn't know what other people were going to say, what other jokes people were doing. None of us had any idea what the other people were doing. So you're writing stuff being like, can I get away with, am I going to be the only one who addresses this thing? And then when I heard you were doing an Aaron Hernandez joke, I was like, I guess it's on the table. That opened up a world to me. No,
it's comedy.
It of course it was jokes. And I think jokes can be made about literally any topic. It's not like you're like making fun of the victim. Like there's a certain way that it shouldn't be done, and that's not the way it was done that night. It was really refreshing, but there was just like, I heard just like a hint that, or like someone said, Julian is a Aaron Hernandez joke, and I had been like, I can't do it because no one's gonna go there. And then it just was like, yes, hell yes, you killed so hard, man. Like a comedian should kill. Like I should have done as well as I did, but like there's no precedent for you doing that well or Gronk doing that well. It really was like you all should have done as well as Randy did.
Drew good. I like Drew. He likes you too, I think.
I met Gronk, And Gronk, that right before he goes out, was like talking to me as if I was an old man. And then at some point I just go, because I was just trying to be in character. Because before we went and did that, we ran our jokes the night before at this comedy club called Laugh Boston. It was me, Bill Burr, Josh Wolf, Anthony Mackie. And Burr's like, so you going to dress up like Babe Ruth or some shit? And I was like, just watch, Bill. It's going to be great. Next day, we're in the lobby getting ready to walk over to the House of Blues next to Fenway. And Bill's in the lobby. I was like, oh, it's perfect. I got to go test this out. So I walk up. I go, hey, Bill Burr, big fan. He goes, thanks, buddy. And kind of turns away. I was like, oh, shit, he doesn't know it's me. So then I go, hey, I just started watching your cartoon. If it's for family, it's pretty good. He goes, oh, thanks. I go, yeah, it's no Simpsons, I'll tell you that much. And he goes, what's that, bud? I go, yeah, I got a few notes for you. You got a few minutes? And he goes, buddy, fuck off. And I like in my face, and I go, Bill, it's Adam. And he goes, what? I go, it's Adam. He goes, holy fucking shit, dude. And he just couldn't take his eyes off me the rest of the night.
You're Bill.
And so then I went up to Gronk, and same thing was like, I was like, oh, Gronk, big fan, man, big fan. I go, yeah, if you're not doing anything, like maybe we go double team a Hooters waitress. And Gronk was like, yeah, rain check, man. And then I was like, Gronk, my name's Adam Ray. I'm like 35. And he was like, oh, shit, you know? And then he comes out, he's like, hey, dude, can I run some jokes by you? And he had this joke that he wanted to run by me about titty fucking Josh Wolf's wife after shitting on her chest. Can you curse on the show? Is it too late to ask? All right.
No.
And this is just all bleeped. And so I was like, and I start. He goes, so okay, so I'm titty fucking Josh Wolf's wife, and I shoot her, and then titty fuck her, and I go, what's the joke? And he goes, well, that's what I need help with. I go, you know what, dude? Just say that verbatim, and you'll be golden. And he was like, it's funny, right? I go, it's something. And then he went out there, and I honestly did not. He opened with it, and it fucking bombed, but then also got laughs. But then he saved it by being just charismatic, swagger-filled Gronk, and he does his he just goes, fuck you guys, I thought that was funny, and everybody starts laughing, dude, and immediately won the room over.
I was going up for parts for various things, and the guy said to me, you have to, it was a casting director, and I meet these guys. These are the creme de la creme guys. It's Jim Brooks, Ed Weinberger, Stan Daniels, Dave Davis. They created Mary Tyler Moore. They created Room 222. They wrote Lou Grant, blah blah blah, all this stuff. I never watched television.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'll go. And I read the script, and it's the part of Louis De Palma, and I go, wait, you got to make an impression, right?
Yeah.
So I walk in the office. And they're all sitting there in this beautiful, it's like really lush, sofa like this, and I'm walking in. There's a chair there.
Casting room, right?
A casting. It's the guy's office. It was at Paramount. There were big shots. All the actors. You'd come over there, and I had the script in my hand, and I said to him, they introduced me, and I said, one thing I want to know before we start: who wrote this shit? And I threw it on the table. Okay?
Game 7.
Okay? And now I walk for one tiny little second in terror.
Shitting.
And then they laughed their ass off.
Oh, my God.
Okay? Yes. And Louis walked into their life. Okay? So these guys are this, okay. So we rehearsed the show. We had 10 days of rehearsal, and we're going to do a pilot. Now, this is big because this means this is a huge show. Everybody tells me was going to be like, it's going to be it's either going to, and it's ABC and
it's Taxi.
All this stuff. Taxi. So I am like, shitting my pants all week. We're getting ready. We're rehearsing. Everybody's in the same boat. We know we're doing it. We're doing the runs. We're doing the things. We're doing the lines. We're doing, we do the blocking. We're up there with the director. We have to say blah, blah, blah. And the night of the pilot shoot, there's 300 people in the audience. And, I get to my dressing room early. I always do that. Try to, psych myself up, get into the mode, get ready to go out. And there's a little plant, this tiny little plant, like sitting on my dresser. And it's got a note. And it's from Jim Brooks and the boys.
What kind
and
of
it
plant?
says, it's like a really gnarly little looking thing.
Yeah.
But nothing
creative
fancy.
plant.
Nothing fancy.
No, nothing fancy. So you got to.
It's in a clay pot, and a note says, "Dear Danny, as Louis De Palma would say, if you don't do good tonight, you'll be eating shit tomorrow."
So I'm interested. You're on SNL,
Mm-hmm.
so you guys perform once a week.
Yep.
what's the prep process like? Because in football, you know, we're same. You get 1 week, 1 day a week. You have to perform for 3 hours. The preparation process is like to a T science. Monday, film. Tuesday, day off. Wednesday, first and second down. Thursday, third down. Friday, red area. Walk through Saturday. Play game on Sunday. What's the routine like for SNL?
I mean, I love hearing this because I always feel like I'm an athlete and I'm part of a team, except it's SNL. But yeah, it's like Monday, meet the host, start thinking of your sketch ideas. Tuesday, writing night. Wednesday, table read, find out what sketches get in. Thursday, we start rehearsals. Friday, we rehearse more and we shoot all the like film sketches. Then Saturday, you get in there early. You do like a full run through of the show in wigs and costumes, and then you do dress rehearsal and then live show. And then on Sunday, then I get to watch what you guys do. And that's my break. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of walkthroughs. Because, like,
Yes.
is it to a point where you guys, I mean, for us, like, we walk through the walkthrough just to get the mental rep, because once it's game day, you know, you want to go out and do it. So like, it's crazy to me because the whole process of SNL, like, it's a new show every week. It's kind of like South Park, you know, how it's so cut up and then they do it right away and then they go do it. I don't know where the question was going there. I just was thinking out loud.
Well, I got the question for you.
Yeah.
So, like, with him, repetition, but there's got to be a level of spontaneity that you need in performance. Is there like a balance of too much practice, too much repetition?
Totally. Like, I'll have to remind myself, like, Heidi, you got it. You got the character. You know it. You know, you don't want to be too memorized because you have the cards right in front of you. I do probably get a little too memorized. But yeah, you want the spontaneity. And I always know. It's like, even in rehearsals, I'll be like, am I bringing in enough? But I just know in front of a live audience, I'm like, you're going to go nuts. But it's always cool. It's my favorite when an athlete hosts because I don't know what it's like to host SNL, but there's this binder. Once you know what all the sketches are, there's a binder of all the sketches. And every actor that's ever hosted, I just know that binder's in their dressing room and they're looking at it between rehearsals. But whenever there's an athlete, they bring that out onto set with them. And I'm like, that's their playbook, like, for the week. And it was like when Travis hosted, like, you know, I was asking him, I'm like, okay, like, on game day, what are you eating? You know, he's like, Uncrustables all day long. So like before on Saturday, like I had like 4 boxes of Uncrustables delivered to his dressing room. And he told me, he was like, I'm pounding those, you know? And I was like, yeah, this is a game. Yeah. And I just knew he'd be awesome because also all week long, you're getting adjustments. You're being told like, look at these cards, those cards, you know, and it all seems overwhelming. But I was like, he's used to this. He's getting, I'm guessing, he probably gets adjustments from coaches all week long and then has to make those for the game. Like, and he's playing on a live game every week.
Who are some of the younger comedians that you let hang around you, or you kind of saw and maybe you've helped?
Yeah, it's a lot. It becomes that thing where like you don't, and it's funny like when we talk about those guys weren't out to teach us. Like, I wasn't really, but I was like, hey, do you want to open for me? And just taking them around. And then there's this guy, Stavros Halkias. You know Stavros?
Yeah.
You love Stavros?
We love Stavros.
Yeah.
We just watched it.
He opened for me. I was one of the first guys to take him on the road. I just found him at this little Maryland club. I was just doing clubs at the time. And they sent me a tape, a YouTube link or whatever to check out this chubby little guy from Baltimore, and I took him under my wing, and he just did my radio show yesterday.
Awesome.
And he was talking about how much I helped him, you know, during that time. And it's so funny because I just loved him. I just thought he was funny. I met my family, spent Father's Day with me and my dad once, and he was just a super talented guy who I like to be around. And in my mind, he went from opening for me, and then I don't know, 3 years later, he's on Netflix. And he's like, dude, that was 12 years ago. Like he quietly was hammering and doing all the stuff he had to do. Some of it based off of, you know, me helping him out and showing him stuff. And so Stavros is like the one I'm proud of right now.
The Young Bucks. That's awesome. I mean, I was an asshole in the locker room, but if I saw a kid that was really trying, really working his ass off.
Yeah.
I was, I had to help him out.
Yeah.
Because I remember being that kid.
Yeah.
And I needed that. And there's guys that, looked out for me. And there's guys that were assholes to me.
Yeah.
But I was more of an I made you accountable asshole, and if you were a fucking slapdick and you thought your shit didn't stink in the fucking room, I was going to tell you, all right, dude, we won before you. We don't need you,
Right. Yeah.
We both just did the roast, the
Yes.
Tom Brady roast. What'd you think of it?
It was wild.
It was wild.
It was wild. From the stage perspective, like a lot was going on.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of energy. I loved watching. For me, it was a lot of completing the story.
Yeah.
Like hearing Drew's perspective. You know what I mean? Him making fun of Tom. Like, you used to come with that yellow truck. It's like, oh shit, okay, so that was that relationship. And hearing Gronk, I loved Gronk's part of the roast and him just being like, yeah, trying to yell at me, but what did I do? I caught it. So it's like, oh, you guys had your own little tensions and like different stuff, and hearing you guys kind of, toss and throw kind of that shit. As a fan, it was like kind of having an insider's like view into it.
Yeah.
But then there was just like wild shit going on, like Gronk spiking that glass. And like,
Is there going to be will there be a lawsuit? I think someone.
Dude, that's what I said. Me and Drew were sitting on the couch. I was like, that lady got hit and she's pretty pissed off.
Oh.
She was like pissed. And I was like, oh, this isn't good. So then it was just like.
No, someone got hit.
Yeah.
I heard that. You could actually see someone be all pissed.
It was a lot going on. It was big.
For me, I thought it was such a cool perspective to see professionals work in contrast to guys that the athletes we're all fucking nervous. We were all terrified. You're in the forum. There's 15,000 people. This is a live show on Netflix. We don't do this shit.
Yeah.
You guys are used to this stuff. And to see how you guys were able to, I was reading teleprompters. I was watching the teleprompter the whole time. I probably wasn't supposed to be doing that. But how you guys would see on the teleprompter what you were supposed to say. And sometimes you guys wouldn't even say anything that the teleprompter said. You would deliver it in a different way and bring things from what you heard recently, and then throw it in joke and go. Like, it was really impressive to watch you guys work. So you're known for your rants. What's your greatest rant of all time that you are just so proud of?
I think
TV,
there was
anything.
And I don't ask me to remember what it was, but it's findable. The one, there was one that it took me a while. There's 4 or 5 things I did, but when they put Janet Jackson's breast on the
nipple.
The nipple caper.
What year was that? That was JT.
And I flipped out, and so and that's what I went off on. Nobody, it's like,
04.
04, I was in high school.
It was horrifying. I was literally sitting, we were in LA, sitting in a friend's house. I was this close to the TV, and if not closer. I watched the whole fucking halftime show. You never saw her nipple, okay? And I'm a guy who would look for that immediately. I'm not fooling around. I don't have time. You show a nip, I'm going to be there to watch the nip, okay? Never saw it. So to me, it was like, you're out of your minds. And then I literally just went nuts the first time I went on stage. And then it was just I was going, not only what really was disturbing was the fact that they kept saying, well, this was horrible. This is just awful. Let's see it again. This was awful. Let's see it again. Can we see that again? Look at that thing. It's disgusting. That nipple just appeared out there. And this is not the kind of, let's see it again. And they just kept showing it. And so I went off and then eventually carved it all together. And I loved doing it. And I kept that bit, but way too long, probably till 2007. 3 years of the nipple bit.
But the idea that football players or any athlete are meatheads is so false and insulting, because the level of intellect and the decision making, the quickness, not to mention the kinetic genius that you guys have. But anybody, I know they make fun of Gronk, but anybody who can do these reads has an intelligence. Maybe not for chemistry and physics.
No, without a
but
doubt.
Right, but for the movement and also just the decision making quickness is really impressive.
Gary, I played in the league for 12 years. I played with some meatheads.
Really?
Yeah.
Couldn't follow the
there's like maybe 1 to 3 guys on a team that are just either so big, so fast, strong.
I see. Physically, they were able to dominate.
They can do that. They won't do it for a long time now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because people learn your moves when you get it
Yes.
on film.
Yes.
Then people can prepare for it.
Yes.
But you know, they can sneak out. There's some meatheads that can sneak out a couple years.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for
No, but
letting
I
me in on that.
also say that too. Like I got a little disappointed in Meryl Streep because I was a huge Meryl Streep fan.
Okay.
I still am. But when she went on she won an award for Best Actress or something. It was like 5 years ago or something. And she like called out the athlete community, like, we're the arts, we're the this. And I go, you know how artistic it is?
Oh my gosh.
To be able to have this vision, to be able to set up a block, do a spin move. That's a person's art.
Oh my
That's, you know,
gosh.
like
Yeah,
you said, that
it's-
kinetic art of movement.
Yes.
You know, you see some of these guys run. Yes, they're big, strong, fast, but they have footwork like a ballerina.
It wasn't a coincidence that Jerry Rice dominated
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he used to
an-
do ballerina
he's an-
stuff for
but
his ankle and feet.
Right, right, because he's an artist.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of players who could have been equally impressive in dance or things like that. Yeah.
Emmitt Smith did well too. Running
Yes.
back
Oh
up
my
your
gosh,
feet.
he was awesome.
I think
Yes.
he won it. Didn't
He had
he win
great
it?
feet.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Hey, man, Jared,
You get offered every single year to be on that show.
I'm not going on Dancing with the Stars.